Hey guys, time to get in on the action for the biggest moments in basketball with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections, place your entry, and win up to 100 times your money. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app and use the code GET100. That's code GET100 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
And now, Hangar 56 Media presents Spike's Car Radio, a downloadable cars and coffee, hosted by writer, comedian, and automotive enthusiast Spike Ferriston. Now, here's Spike.
Here we are, out in Baldwin Hills on a Saturday. There's a lot going on here at Zuckerman's place. Are you all right, Zuckerman? My boys are here. The Lieberman family is here. The Zuckermans are all here. We have Chris O, celebrity chef, who's got his it's a Scion XB.
Yes,
Scion XB
yeah.
that you can rent, and it's a Korean BBQ-mobile. So it's wild. He's cooking for us. And happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yeah, you know,
for us, happy
the house
Saturday.
had to be wrecked at some point, and I figured you guys already half wrecked it, so now we're going to full wreck it.
Yeah, Chris, just so you know, was on Car Matchmaker back in the day and is here promoting this Korean barbecue Scion. So perfect for us.
Yeah,
and we invited.
I was going to say we're not actually smoking cigars at the moment, so I have nothing to ash on.
We'll get to that.
You'll get to
There's so
wrecking.
much more. My boys have a drone. They've already flown it into airspace and got a warning that said, do not fly any higher. Jack said, never seen those before. I'll just swipe them off to the
I
side.
love how he just didn't even care.
He's already been scoped out by the Secret Service because the vice president lives nearby and was flying over in that zone, and then they had to come. Anyway, before we get going, got a great show for you today. I want to remind you guys that today, listening to this show, this evening, Inside Track, Road and Track's virtual question and answer series, Mike Guy, the editor-in-chief, is going to be interviewing me, screenwriter, comedian, and podcast host Spike Ferris, and it's not too late to sign up, so go to Road and Track and Google Inside Track for Road and Track, and you'll see me there tonight, and it's like a group Zoom call, I think. I think anybody can sign up, anybody can be on the call, anybody can ask questions. If we're lucky, there'll be some nudity. And there's going to be a conversation, a lively conversation about cars, about writing, about entertainment, about Johnny Lieberman, about Zuckerman. Ask me whatever you want.
Mike
Again,
is a good dude.
that is tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, and we'd love to have you. I'd love to have you show up. A lot going on with last week's show. When we were over at your other house, your least favorite house, Zuckerman, Leno called in and we put him on the air. And frankly, it was hard for me to hear what he was saying. But he made mention of a Tesla sedan Plaid edition and a drag strip. And I was too busy trying to manage the microphone. Didn't even put it in the description of the podcast. Didn't even say anything. Suddenly it was all over Twitter because I guess it's news.
Oh, it's a lot bigger than Twitter. Yeah,
Tell everybody what happened because I was caught off guard by it.
We don't know enough yet, but Tesla is fast and loose with the rules. But anyways, Jay claims he went 9.247 seconds in a quarter mile, which would be the quickest production car. Except for that Rimac thing.
May I interrupt? He
Yes.
doesn't claim he sent me the slip. I have it right here.
Well, okay, but so here's the thing. So what tires was it running? Also, it's on a prep surface. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Anyways, so the Dodge Demon did a 9.65 quarter mile. No. I'm not saying the car didn't do it. I'm saying what tires is it on? Is it on
But before you get to that, tell everybody why it's significant.
Because the record was the Dodge Demon at 9.65 seconds. And so this would have beat it by 0.4 of a second.
That's a lot.
So it confirmed what Elon Musk, I guess, has been saying about the speed of the Plaid Edition Model S, right?
Yeah,
That it sets a record for the quarter mile.
Maybe, but
Maybe.
third party. And that's the thing. The Dodge one is an asterisk too because that one was kind of they used what's called mine shaft air. So they waited for a weather event at a drag strip in Texas where the barometer drops and suddenly it's as if you're 600 feet below sea level.
So you get thicker air?
You get thicker air.
Which makes you go faster.
Yeah. And so they waited for that. That's why there was never a Demon press car that you could a third party could verify, and that's why no one's ever gotten close to that. I talked to the guy. I'm like, "How'd you actually get that number?" He's like, "Mineshaft Air." I'm like, "Okay."
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it was pretty exciting for us. I mean,
no, it was great.
Suddenly, Spike's Car Radio was all over the place, and
For
the Tesla
front page news.
It was, on all my favorite automotive sites, and it was especially exciting because I had just taken possession of the Tesla Model Y, or my wife did, and I was in the middle of my Tesla enthusiasm. And I am now, I think, what they call a Tesla fanboy.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
And lots of people were saying,
kill you.
"Can you talk about this?" And let me first tell you that I'm not replacing any kind of column of what I love about cars, all managed, vintage, new, or whatever. I've added this new experience there. And from beginning to end, we had that Mercedes, the GLS, right? The Maybach, right?
Yeah.
We had it out to dinner. We came home. There was a new Tesla in our driveway. That's how it was delivered. There was no guy. There was no pimply-faced weirdo going, "Let me tell you how it works, sir." It was just nothing. It's just you open your app, and it said, "Hey, your car's here. Would you like to set it up?" For the next hour, it flawlessly set up the car. It did not hiccup once. Who else would like to drive this car? I put in my wife's email address. She goes, "Should I try it?" Boom. It just works. And
I'm shaking my head yes for all you listening.
But, I mean, I know I might be late to this Tesla thing, but I have been very, very impressed with this car right up until the drive over here where I was showing Erica, the autopilot, how not to trust it, but what you can do with it, and how it can, on the 10, we had a lot of traffic, and we were chilling out. It was, adaptive cruise control plus some more.
Yep.
And I have to tell you, I really love this thing.
Yeah.
I am now a Tesla convert. That doesn't mean I'm a fan of Elon Musk, but I am a Tesla convert, and the way they've approached this car, the amount of steps that they've eliminated, the lack of use of the brake pedal, the little bong I get when the light changes if I happen to be looking down at my phone and I go, "Oh, it's taking care of me." The lack of switches, the lack of lights, the Spartan interior, the cleanliness of it, like Zuckerman's house
Listen to
here.
this enthusiasm. I'm really shocked.
I am over the moon about it. Now, the way it drives, I'm not going to ever take it on a drive that I want to enjoy. Let me put it that way. Does that make
you
sense?
bought the SUV. Yeah, you didn't buy the Model 3
No,
Performance.
but as you know, I took it to the grocery store. I took it to the Little League field. I did my errands in it. I loved that I wasn't polluting. I laughed at the $7 gas at the 76 station on my corner. All of those things that they do. But the amount of stuff that has been eliminated, especially coming out of that Maybach, that has switches and dials all the way down, switches and dials, and lights, all of it's gone, and I'm totally fine. Totally fine.
Do you smell the barbecue?
Oh, yeah, it smells good.
That is amazing.
But look, hey, I'm just announcing to you folks out there, I am now a fan of Tesla. I'm a Tesla fan.
Jay, now I heard one little bit of what Jay was saying because we didn't have great volume. He said he did the quarter mile and they had the AC on as if they didn't need any special mine shaft air
Right.
or hot air or anything.
Well, I guarantee the AC disconnected for 9.2 seconds. But aside from that, yeah, he had the AC on. Yeah, no, it's quick. It's instant torque, right? You have all that torque is available instantly. That's the launch. Like I said, I would love to see what tires they were on because I know they were running a plaid prototype around Laguna Seca, and a birdie told me they were on slicks. Like they got some crazy number, but they weren't on
street tires.
Yeah, if you put slicks on any car, you'll knock 2 seconds off a lap, right? So I'd love to see what they were actually on. And Tesla, they're a little fast and loose.
But let's get back to the Model Y. I want to discuss the Y, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's a big win. It's just a big win.
Can I give?
I thought it was delivered without. And now I'm sensitive to cars now being delivered without things because of the Defender.
Yes. How's that going, by the way?
It's happening. It's happening. I love that people
it
are
hasn't
complaining.
happened yet, though.
I have not been pushing it, to be honest with you, but it's going to happen.
You still don't have the shit.
It's coming. It is coming.
You don't want to talk bad right now.
But I believe Johnny. I believe Johnny when he's telling me I'm not going to be happy with it. So I'm not. I've been driving so many other cars. It's been in the hangar, and I know people are complaining. It's like the height of privilege that I And they don't understand. I ordered a rack with a Defender attached to it. I wanted the rack, and I got the car.
I love how you paid for something, and you're privileged to what we.
But I hear and I understand what they're saying. I totally get it. But I'm complaining for all the other people who don't have a microphone.
Right, of course.
Because there were thousands of people who didn't get their Explorer packs.
They ordered burgers and got fish
fillets. And I'm class actioning it.
I'm
I'm there to complain so they feel better. I know I deserve that. I know it. I get it. Yeah, I understand. But I'm complaining for those other folks without the microphone. Anyway, the Y.
Yes.
Why?
Is fabulous.
It's so good.
Why?
So
tell me more about it though. It's a dual motor, right?
Yeah, I mean there's not much to tell.
330 miles to the charge, which is fantastic, and it works. You know, we've been charging it once a week, and it's plenty.
And that's like every Tesla
the
user.
app
Yep.
On the phone it controls everything. It's like having this super functional key, and it works. It works wherever you go.
Yeah.
You put it on the wireless charging pads that are very big and easy to use. The first ones out of like 7 cars that have had them where this big Pro Max fits, and it immediately charges quickly without me having to do any weird rearranging.
He's talking about his phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'll say this. Like, the Model 3, when it came out, super rough. It had a lot of problems, and they made a lot of weird decisions. Like, they made it a trunk instead of a hatch. They fixed everything with the Model Y. Like, I have nothing bad to say about the Model Y. It's an incredible electric SUV. Like, the Mustang Mach-E is about 90% of the way there, but the Tesla's just, it's the little stuff that Tesla gets right. It's like with the Taycan. Porsche did a great job because they made an electric car that's fun to drive, but they missed out all the simple stuff. Like, it's impossible to charge. I had one for a week. I was on the phone with Electrify America. Every single time I tried to charge, it just wouldn't work, you know? The backup camera is terrible. Like, why would
Frustrations,
you do that? Yeah, and so Tesla, what Spike is saying, they get all the little stuff exactly right.
Well, that's because they're on their what? They were on their 4th version of an electric car.
Yeah.
They have a head start.
But think about, Zuckerman, think about when you get a new phone and how many times you have to reboot and reset and do these things. I have yet to have that hiccup, a single one, which is what impressed me the most. And then I'm having these lovely moments where I'm brushing my teeth and I'm like, oh, I'm going to drive that car, drive the kids to school. Well, look at the temperatures. It's hot in there. Why don't I just adjust? And it's instant. It's not this thing where it's got to talk to the satellite in the sky. And then 10 minutes later, it gets the directive. If I'm within distance, which I am at my house, the phone talks right to the car. It's impressive. The whole thing's great.
Yeah. How long ago was it when they first electrified that little Tesla, the little Lotus Roadster?
2007 or 8.
Okay, yeah. They've come a long way.
They've come a long way. Well, the Model S was like 2011, and it was great. And what I like about Tesla is that they will just, again, I don't like necessarily the beta software, but they'll just charge ahead and do stuff that's a legal gray area. For instance, on every car you've ever driven, except for a Tesla, the thing that unlocks your seatbelt is orange, the release button. Well, it's not a law. It's a law in Canada. It has to be orange. It's not a U.S. law. So they're like, we're going to make them black. And the reason, by the way, that everyone is orange, because if you want to sell a car in Canada, just make them orange. Now everything's orange. You have one less thing to worry about. And Musk was like, I think it looks better in black. And so they're black. And it does look cool. You know, and everyone knows where it is. No one's ever not gotten a seatbelt off because it wasn't orange. It's a Canadian rule. So that's what I really like about them, is that they're not afraid to, like, just do that. Because GM, never in a million years will they ever change away from orange. Even though they don't have to, they never would.
Right.
So we're having a nice time here. It feels like summer over here. Kick off your summer in style with a brand that's reinventing men's basics. Mack Weldon. Mack Weldon is so much more than just underwear. Their full collection includes t-shirts, polos, button-up shorts, pants, swimsuits, so much more. With light and breathable fabric technology, Mack Weldon keeps you cool and comfortable all summer. From work to working out, happy hour to playing with us, Mack Weldon has men's essentials for whatever your day includes. Dive into Mack's swim line and trunk board short options that are quick to dry and have 4-way stretch fabric when you're not in the pool. Mack Weldon's new Maverick Tech Chino short. He's having a good time over there, isn't he? Perfect addition to your summer wardrobe. They also have a free loyalty program called Mack Weldon Blue. Level 1 gets you free shipping for life. Once you're level 2, spending $200, you get 20% off every order for the next year. Stay cool this summer and look great doing it with all the men's collections from Mack Weldon. For 20% off your first order, visit MackWeldon.com/Spike, MackWeldon.com/Spike. Enter the promo code Spike. That's MackWeldon.com/Spike. There you go. There is ad number 1. Our boys at Mack Weldon Do you guys check out Hodinky Magazine? It's really cool. Volume 8 is out right now, and I have it at the house. It's awesome if you like watches. It's really insane, though, the stuff they do in it. And again, I know we have a lot of watch people listening to the show. James Stacy, who's a friend, did 18 pages on the reference points of the Rolex Explorer 2. Like, this is my kind of magazine. 18 pages.
What could you possibly say?
It's awesome.
What could you possibly say past
Zuckerman had to be said.
18 words?
Then I turn the page, and Aaron Rodgers is there talking about his watches. It's great because it's not like any other mag. Then there's a portfolio of rappers all photographed with their watches. You should get it. If you guys don't subscribe, Hodinky Volume 8 is out right now. Check it out. 166 pages. It's a magazine you don't throw away, you know.
And just...
that's not an ad. That's me endorsing them. That's me just saying it's great.
I was going to say, just read it just for James, because he's great.
He's the best. Yeah. Anyway, Lieberman, what is this fat comment you wanted to ask me about? You wanted me to ask you about.
Well, this is funny. I'm going to endorse something that I haven't touched yet. But 2 months ago, there was a picture of the three of us taken in the garage.
Yes.
And I was like shoving my belly out. And I am pretty fat. But everyone that day just called me fat on your page. Everyone's like fat.
That's not nice.
And this guy writes me, he's like, hey, how about instead of being fat, I'll send you an Echelon bike. I work for Echelon.
Really? Now, what's an Echelon bike?
It's like a Peloton, but it's a competitor.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm fat too.
Yeah.
Send me a bike.
So wait, what is the bike? Is it one of those bikes with a screen that has
it's the same thing. I've never seen a Peloton. My wife, she put it together. She's been riding it. I haven't touched it yet.
And do you guys like it?
Amy, do you like the Echelon bike? 2 thumbs up from my wife. Yeah, and they just sent it, but it was so. But they sent it to me. It weighs 700 pounds. Right?
Wow.
Sitting in the garage in pieces, and the guy's like, "We'll send someone to your house to build it." Like I just wasn't putting it on social media.
Right.
And I go, yeah. I'll get to it. Then my wife, she's like, "If you help me carry it upstairs, I'll build it."
That's the hard part with any of those bikes.
Yeah.
I've been wondering that because for the pandemic, everybody, put exercise equipment in their home, in their office, and there was a lot of carrying and moving it up there. I have an exercise bike or a stationary bike. Now I'm like, what? I don't want that thing there.
In 10 years, they'll be lining the sidewalks.
Yeah, they would.
Brentwood, old Pelotons. People will look the way we look at
In
old
10
exercise
minutes.
bikes out there.
Right.
Did you ever, Zuckerman, go into your grandparents' house and see
Yes,
that weird
of course.
exercise bike and go, they have not used that in a decade?
Yeah, the contraption, the one with the handles that went up and
but it
back,
takes up an
perfectly
entire-
break their bodies. Yes.
And now it's happened to us.
Yes.
But it takes up an entire room. That's they're
Oh,
not
what's bigger, the
small.
Peloton or the Echelon?
I've never seen a Peloton. My friend who has a Peloton.
He has no clue.
I've never seen one.
Well, my friend,
I've heard of penguins. I've
seen a
never seen
pelican.
one.
I think I own the stock. Anyways, my friend who had a Peloton came over, looked at it, and said, "That looks just like a Peloton." So I don't know, Echelon.
Okay. Well, tell whoever your friend is I'm fat too and I want one for free.
Okay.
Why don't you take my bike? I'll give you my bike. You can
Fat
have
and
it.
free. You sweated on it, and I think you've also used your Oculus virtual reality to pleasure yourself upon it.
What?
His kids are like, you can turn around and hit his kids.
Yeah, my kids are right
They don't understand.
there.
And they should be exposed
But
anyway.
I just want to say though, somebody call me ugly in the comments so I can get some plastic surgery going or something.
No. We're car guys. Why are they holding us to model standards? What is the problem here?
I'm just saying, I've been called fat for 15 years online, and I never got a free bike. Now I got a free bike with a screen.
They should send us free food. Why don't they send us free
I
food?
want
We're
free
getting
food.
free food
Well, we're getting
today.
Yeah, we are.
food,
Chris
yeah.
O is here, celebrity
amazing.
chef Chris
Oh, my
O.
God.
We just we took a break, so you didn't have to listen to us eating. What did we have? We had kimchi. We had
Bulgogi.
ribs,
We had
yeah.
short ribs. Beef short
bulgogi.
ribs.
Oh man, was that
so
good?
good.
And it's
some
and
kind of glassy noodly thing. Those radishes with the red pepper.
Yeah.
Oh, those are my
and he's
favorite.
got. I went out to the Scion and took some pictures. The whole thing is funny because the back opens up with the hatch, and then this long tray comes out, and there's fire. It's like a mobile Benihana. Like you
It
can
is.
sit. There are chairs, except
awesome.
better beer, better alcohol,
There's a
better
screen.
Food.
There's
And
a
there's a
flat
TV screen, yeah.
And you didn't see him. He pulled in. He's on bags too. So he hit a button, and he then deflated. He lowered,
Oh,
so
wow.
you would be at proper cooking and eating height. Now you see, there's a method to his madness,
Yes.
and I'll let him tell you because he's going to get something better out of this.
What?
Realize.
An exercise bike?
No.
You put pedals on the bottom. You could pedal while you
pedal,
eat.
yeah. And
He was
never
on,
get close
he
to
was
the-
on season 1 of Car Matchmaker too. That's how I know Chris. And you can rent this thing, this Scion, for not a lot of money. For a few $100, you can rent it and bring it over, drive over, and have a nice barbecue wherever you are. He pulls up, he cooks for you. It's a pretty sweet deal to have a celebrity chef like that do
I
that.
mean,
the
just
rest of it.
based on the radishes and the short ribs, like done. I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's go.
What are you driving?
Well, today, because I brought the family my own car, an Alfa Romeo Giulia, but I had a Lexus LC 500 convertible
Oh.
and a Jag F-Type R.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say those are comparable in a way?
Well, they're both, one's 111,000, one's 113,000. They're both V8s, so sort of.
Two-door convertibles.
Yeah, well, the Jag's a hardtop, but yeah, I mean, in a way, if it's the same money, it's a V8 and blah blah. They're different. The Lexus is heavy. The Jag's also heavy, but the Lexus is 500 pounds heavier. The interior of the Lexus is like smashing, and I think every time they build one, I think they make it a little bit better somehow. Just like 3 or 4 shades of brown on top of each other. It's gorgeous. It's just like. When you go to look at, you're going to buy a car and there's like leather samples and like the actual leather samples look really cool. That's what this is like.
Is this aimed at a SL 550 buyer?
Yeah.
Is that...
Yeah. I mean, inadvertently, I don't know I think they built a car with no aim,
Just to have one, just to have an open 2-seater?
It was a hardtop, and then they're like, it's going to be the sporty car. It's a sports car, and it weighed like 4,200 pounds. Just, I don't know. But it drives very nice, and it sounds incredible. It's like one of the best sounding, it's one of the last naturally aspirated V8s left on the market. So it sounds incredible, and then with the top down, it sounds 20 times better. So I liked it. And then the Jag, they've matured it, I think is their wording for it, so it's not as loud as it was, and it used to be the loudest car you could buy, but it makes more power. It's got revised suspension. I'd like better tires. I'd like a little more damping, but if you don't compare it to a 911, it's pretty good.
Right.
The second you bring a 911 in, it's like, well, it's better damped. It has a rear seat. It has more story. The typical 911 story.
Right.
So,
Do you find yourself wanting to root for the Jag, wanting to like it?
Yes, always. Yeah. I love British cars. Yes, that's me.
Yeah, they're
the
great.
syndrome. That's the thing. They get the sympathy,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's not sympathy. It's cool. It's a vibe, right?
Maybe. I mean, there's just a thing. You just want it to be better than it is. It's never going to be a German car. It's never, there's just something about it. You want to like it. You want it to be good. I like seeing people driving them. I really like seeing people driving them and seeing them on the road. I'd never buy one.
Right.
Yeah, I don't.
You had a Jaguar when I first met
Well,
you.
an E-Type, a 67 E-Type, a 67/68. It was 2 different cars put together. That was my college education in classic cars.
So
Now we have a beep. What's this beep?
what is this beep? Is it a drone?
Jack, is that you beeping? This was the worst idea in the world to bring our families here, and
I think the 4-year-old drowns out the beep.
and I
rather well.
apologize to
Oh,
all
will
of
you
you.
please beat your children?
We thought this would be fun, but now all of us are distracted by our
Will the
insane families.
ride home be a lecture to the children on misbehavior?
Oh no, not mine. No, I'm apologizing to the listeners. They're probably entertained by our not being at ease here, but.
The last thing I'd say about the Jag is that I had for a year. I had the 2015 F-Type R, which was like a screaming animal.
Yes.
I was sitting. In
That's a great car.
I was sitting. It was rear drive first of all, so it was dangerous because it had no traction. It was on bad tires. I was sitting in an empty parking garage with my buddy Christian had a Hellcat, and we were just sitting there revving the engines like two supercharged V8s, echoing, and the Jag was louder than the Hellcat. But all the things that journalists complain about, like. There's no traction. It moves all over the place. It's too loud when it starts up. So they did everything that journalists wanted, and now everyone's sad about it. It's like it's no longer crazy. It's not, now it's all-wheel drive, so it doesn't do the craziest burnouts and hop all over the road. So I don't know. It feels a little softer than I'd like, but honestly, 575 horsepower is plenty. And if they would just instead of sport damping, Sport Plus, just tie it down, I'd recommend it. It's close, but the way I drive, it needs a little bit more.
You know, with Father's Day right around the corner, Zuckerman, you're a dad. I can see clearly you're a dad. There's never been a better time to try or share the Harry's experience. What do you like about shaving with Harry's, Zuckerman?
Okay, it's like asking me what I like about going to the barber. I don't have any hair, you piece of shit.
No, shaving.
I shave myself and I keep it scruffy.
With Harry's, our sponsor.
I love Harry's. See, I'm going to get this right for you.
Not Harry's.
Harry's.
I love Harry's. You know what I like about them? The weighted handle. The multi-bladed blade, the way it just grips like a Can-Am car on my face. I'm a big fat fan of Harry's, actually. Lieberman's the big fat fan. Exercise bike reference. Thank you. I like all their smelly stuff. I like the shaving cream. I love their razors, and I really am wholly addicted to them. I have them for you, and I'm sorry I didn't get those to you. They have this is all they've sent me so far is the shaving stuff. It's the cream, but they have this face shaver that is revolutionary, and it feels like a Can-Am car. You know, the suction? Right. It's got 5 blades instead of 3. It's excellent. I look forward to shaving every time. You guys got to try it, or if there's a dad who needs something, you got to buy it for your dad. Let me tell you where you're going to get. We have a trial set for just $3, or you can get $5 off any shave set when you go to harrys.com/Spike911. My name, my favorite car. Harry's has gift sets, great gift ideas for the guy in your life. They have a graphite Winston razor handle that's even engravable. Get that for me, Erica. Harry delivers a close, comfortable shave at a fair price with still refills as low as $2. Stop paying so much money. Go to harrys.com/Spike911. Buy a shave set. Go to harrys.com/Spike911 and get a special gift for the dad in your life.
When is Father's Day?
I don't know.
20th. I know this.
Okay.
It's my brother-in-law's birthday, the 20th.
Well, let's be very clear. I have one Father's Day gift that I always ask for and never get, and that's for everyone in the household to be agreeable. No contrariness.
That's it?
That's it. Just be agreeable. Be agreeable to each other. Be agreeable to me. Don't contradict me. Don't give me an argument. Don't, whatever. Just let me be, and don't, I just want pleasantness around me.
Because his family is about 18 feet.
I don't give a shit.
That way they can't hear him. They're not
used
listening.
to it. All of our families are used to it, by the way.
Remember that time I made you laugh so hard about the sandwich board?
Yes, I did. I wasn't going to bring it up, but I was
bring it up. I told my
that.
wife said to me, "What would you like for Father's Day?" And I said, "I want you to get a sandwich board that written on it says, 'I'm a pain in the ass, and you have to stand in front of the supermarket for all your friends and our friends and neighbors shop.'"
Wow. This sandwich board piece of it and supermarket made me laugh the most. And what was her response?
She just looked at me like I was crazy.
Well,
But, you're from Massachusetts. They used to have the stocks in the town square.
Yes.
They would put some contrary wife would go in the stocks with her head and arms.
she should be accused of being a witch.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't.
no, or even just back
I
talking.
love the idea of a sandwich board promotion for our show. Maybe I'll have one made for Spike's Car Radio, and we'll wear
a
it.
sandwich board.
No, we'll go down to the supermarket and wear sandwich boards. Sandwich boards.
Maybe in front of the Malibu sheriff's station.
Yeah.
When you and I were driving with our friend from New York this morning, Mr. Zuckerman, I was taking a call from Steve Serio, our mutual friend on the East Coast. He had just been at Amelia Island, and I said, "What is the state of the market? The state of the car market?" And it was lots of pleasant news. He said, things I didn't quite understand, that brass-era cars did really well.
Good.
Unexpectedly.
That's great.
A Duesenberg that was valued at $3 million, which sounds insane.
Isn't that pre-war, or is that brass era?
No, well,
what is the difference?
Brass era is like 1914, the 1910s.
Yeah, okay.
So it kind of fades in the 20s, in the early 20s, but like even before 1914, it's like the invention of the automobile.
The invention up until 20 or so.
Up till
Got it.
the Art Deco kind of
Right,
thing.
and then like
they're awesome.
A Duesenberg would, I think, be pre-war. I wouldn't consider that to be.
Yeah, it's not
that
brass.
wouldn't be a
It's not
brass era
It's all
car. That's
pre-war.
a high-tech vehicle. And, maybe it's one of these Murphy SJs or something like that. But it went for $5 million, apparently.
He said Amelia was on fire. Everybody's out.
They
Nothing's
wanted
going.
to spend money.
Everybody wants to spend money. Not everything was up, but there were a lot of Ferraris that were up and back where they were. Lots of things had bounced. Notably, 330 Ferraris had not bounced, in his opinion. which they found interesting. The 73 RS continues to be an odd kind of bird, but if you have the best of the best, they were up in the 750 range, which was somewhat interesting. He said what we already knew, which is anything pre-owned and recent from Porsche. Nobody can buy new cars, so GT3 Tourings and, these cars that would normally be trending downward were trending upwards right now.
My buddy just bought a Touring. It had like less than 1,000 miles on it, but he bought a Touring for $230.
Right.
The sticker was
That's
like $180.
Wow.
And it's white. It's not a nice color. It's a white car.
Yeah, it's a great car, though.
$230.
You know what? Ultimately, if you keep it forever, who cares?
No,
it's
totally.
a great car. It's an R is now up to 450 plus.
Right.
Right. So you're getting its baby brother for still somewhat reasonable price. I think when new GT3s are hitting the market, when they figure out this chip bullshit, that market.
I hear
will come
contradictory things about that. That it's figured out and that it's never going to be figured out.
What do you want to know?
And from people in the know.
I
Tell
know
me what you
everything.
know.
Oh, here's what happened.
I was talking to a gentleman who was involved with a company called Qualcomm.
Yes.
And a gentleman who was involved with a company called Ford. And different stories.
Okay, so
what do you know?
All right, here's the story. Pandemic hits, and all the automakers stop making cars, start building ventilators or whatever. And so the people making the chips are like, oh, we should sell these to the TV makers because everyone's going to want a new TV. Also, TV builders will pay more for the same chip than a car maker. Car makers are notoriously cheap.
Right.
And so the chip makers are making more money, so there's a shortage with that. Then there was a fire I think there's only one place not in China that makes these chips you can put in cars. It's in Japan. There was a fire at that warehouse or something, so that kicked off the chip shortage. And now the people making the chips in China don't, and the wafers too, they don't want to sell them.
Wafers.
Yeah.
This sounds so crazy.
Well, but they don't want to sell them to car makers because it's less money than selling them to video game makers. The problem
Really?
is,
I see.
The problem is once TV and video games hit saturation, then they're going to have a glut of chips. So it's going to work.
But
its
I had
way
heard
out.
stories of just, money not being invested in the next factory, and one company that did spend the $19 billion, another company that didn't, now is playing catch up. But
It's part of that whole like.
there's an unlimited amount of marketplace for these things.
We
Yeah.
can't make that
You
shit
can't
in this
make them
country.
fast enough.
You
We can't open up somewhere and make chips.
No, but what they could do is what they didn't do now because everything was on-time manufacturing, lean
Oh,
manufacturing.
yeah, don't stockpile.
Don't stockpile. So now, guess what?
Now they're
gonna be
stockpiling.
stockpiled. Yeah. So
Wow.
it'll be over very soon. But no,
So you're
every
saying
single-
you're going to say it's going to be over?
Yeah, every single car maker shut down for 2 weeks, whether they advertise it or not, and I think they're all back up now.
Yeah, they're all back up. That's
Yeah.
what I thought. But
Yeah.
I was hearing other stories. But
I mean,
who knows?
look, and here's the thing. Like, I'm getting this from a woman I work with, Alyssa, who she's a news person. That's she
Right,
covers
right.
news. That's what she told me. If there's
That's what the
something-
folks from Ford said when I was chatting
and
with them.
so she's getting her info from the same place.
Yeah,
She's in
There you go.
Detroit. So
Well, if you're interested in getting a car right now, today, while you're listening, I got a place for you to go. CollectingCars.com. Our buddies from merry old England are here in LA now. They've got really cool cars for you to buy. It's an auction that's going on right now, this second. You can just go to Collecting Cars right now. Our friend Chris Harris is part of it. He's out there selling it with the podcast. He's out there selling it with content on YouTube. He's out there driving the cars and calling attention to the great cars. What do they have there, Spike? What? How about this? 2014 Mercedes-Benz SL550 Brabus. 50. Modified by Fletcher Jones Mercedes. That's right here. 520 horsepower. Accented with Brabus wheels. Zuckerman is accented with Brabus, too. Look at all the Brabus on him. I see your Brabus. They've got an Audi RS4 Avant from 2001, imported from Spain to Canada.
car.
How about that?
hey, now we're talking my language.
But yeah, legendary manual wagon
Yes,
with tasteful upgrades and a Brabus scrotum. What? The Chevy 3600 pickup from 1949, a 1989 Mercedes-Benz 560 SL. There you go, well cared for. That's not too expensive. The 65 Ford Thunderbird, unique olive green on green color scheme, fully rebuilt engine. You get the picture. There's something for everyone at CollectingCars.com. Why sell your car there? If you're going to sell, list for free, sell for free, hassle-free. CollectingCars.com.
You get the picture.
You ate ham. Now it's time for a very special episode of You Ate Ham, where we bring a group of Jewish people into a room and feed them various items. And unbeknownst to them, they all just ate ham. That's a Zuckerman pitch.
That is.
He
really,
thinks this is a TV show. You ate ham. You're feeding pork to Jewish people, and they don't know.
Here, try this strawberry milkshake. Secretly, it's made of ham.
I mean,
And then when they eat it, they go, "This tastes funny," and they go, "That's because you ate ham." But here, my question has always been, what do you do after the first 2 minutes of the show? After someone eats ham, you just do it over and over again? You ate ham?
It's a short show.
It's a Quibi hit.
No,
Quibi
it's
went
a
out of
kid-
business.
It's a
$2 billion flop.
That's
I'll just say,
Did you see me? Yeah,
I judged a pork competition one time, and I sat next to Jonathan Gold, who's also a Heap.
Is he still with us?
Oh no, he sadly died of pancreatic cancer. But I think we had like 61 pork dishes in about 2 hours.
Wow.
It was one of the most gluttonous things I've ever did. Couchon 555, and it was great. And then afterwards, this was the greatest. He's walking by. I'm sitting there talking to Gold and with my best friend, and a woman's walking by. They just had like chafing dishes filled with bacon, and he grabs a handful and eats it like afterwards. And I stare at him as if like he's a superhero, and he looks at me. He's like, "Thank God for Lipitor."
Oh, God. Jonathan Gold was, he wrote Counterintelligence
The greatest,
in
the
the LA
greatest.
Times for years. He was a fantastic.
No, the best, yeah.
He really sussed out great places that were inexpensive. Did he start in the LA Weekly? I think he did.
But he really got his start. He was like a experimental music major at UCLA, and he would take the bus down Pico.
Right.
And then he would just pick a different restaurant every day to eat at. So he ate his way down Pico, which is like probably the most diverse street in the United States.
Right.
And
he made a thing out of it.
Yeah, and he turned out to be like one of the greatest writers ever.
It was really, you think about yesteryear, the LA Weekly was something I actually looked forward to getting, and I looked forward to getting it particularly for Jonathan Gold's Counterintelligence.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Speaking to that mic, let me just give you a sound check.
Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4.
There you go.
5.
Just keep it right up there. We're just going to keep going. Well, you don't even have to edit that out. Let's just keep running.
We're talking Jonathan Gold.
Oh,
Yeah.
rest in peace.
Celebrity chef Chris O is here. That's what we're talking now. I don't know about gold. I don't understand what that is.
People knew who Jonathan Gold was.
Yeah,
and
Spike
still-
is very thin, you'll notice.
Yes.
He doesn't know.
He knows his power bars.
Let me tell you about Chris O. Celebrity chef. Is that because you feed celebrities or you're the celebrity? What is it? Which one?
Oh, I like the first one better.
The first one, okay. Best New Restaurant in the Country by Thrillist. Best New Restaurant 2019 by Eater San Francisco. Top 25 food trucks by Forbes magazine.
Mm-hmm.
There's too many of these accolades that you. Top food trucks of Los Angeles by LAist.
Mm-hmm.
These are all my favorite sites. And that's just the top of what was a very long list of accolades for you. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for cooking that meal for us.
Amazing.
Thank you for having me.
It was delicious.
There's more, right?
Yes.
Tell us about what you brought by today. Tell us about the vehicle and what folks can rent and what happens.
I literally brought you guys a Korean barbecue restaurant to your driveway via the Korean barbecue car. It's literally a fixed up Scion XB. You push a button, the whole back end comes out, and it's like one of those Korean barbecue tables you see at the restaurant that literally motorizes out the back. You sit down, grill up some meat, drink some booze, and have a good time.
Now, does the car come with you? Are you there?
For an optimal fee, yes, absolutely.
An upgrade. That's called an upgrade.
That's called a supplement in the restaurant
But
world.
it tastes the same if you're there or not there.
Yeah,
You've trained
absolutely.
your people well.
Absolutely.
So I see. So you have different people, but you can have the celebrity chef Chris O come.
Yes, at a very, very cheap, maybe I think it's like a $5 add-on.
And
Phenomenal.
is it only for 4 people, or can you do it for like? I know we surprised you with like 10
Yeah,
people
no.
in our rotten families.
Well,
But
well, I mean, obviously you could cook off it. We could do parties with it, but the whole goal was to like literally have 4 people sit down,
Right.
like they were really at a Korean barbecue restaurant,
Right.
and having the full blown experience.
and where do people where do they take it when they rent it?
We've taken it to Malibu, we've taken it up to Griffith Park, We've done it on the side of the road.
So it's nice locations where you want to sit, where you wouldn't normally be able to sit and eat.
Yes,
you can kind of pull up the restaurant.
Yeah,
That's a cool idea.
That's a great idea.
What we like to say is we have the best view restaurant in the country. We can go wherever you want to go.
Wow.
Go in front of somebody's house you dislike. Have a wonderful meal that smells so good.
Why would you do that?
Just to say fuck you, Ferris. just to lord it over them.
So you would eat in somebody else's driveway, Zuckerman? That's what you would do?
I would do it a little different, but yeah.
No, I mean, what I really want to do is pull it up to other Korean barbecue restaurants.
See?
And kind of piss them off.
Right.
You know, stir the pot a little.
Do you know my buddy Sang Yoon?
Of course, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I know where
yeah.
he lives. So
Yeah.
we can do it right in his driveway. Would be great.
Let's just put it up in front of Father's office.
Yeah, done. You can roll it right on there. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's an element, and he's also playing international politics, international relations, and history here because there's a plan. You realize he is doing Korean barbecue out of a Japanese car.
Yep.
What's the goal here, Chris?
Well, so
The new Kia Carnival, of course, right? Right?
absolutely. I mean, look, the whole goal is to get the attention of Hyundai and Kia and Genesis and those guys, and be like, look, hey, you really want me to do Korean barbecue off a Japanese car?
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, you want that new Carnival, trust me. Yeah.
So
So what would he get?
The Carnival. It's a brand new minivan by Kia. And it actually, like, from the B pillar forward, it looks like an SUV.
Oh.
Super luxurious inside.
Yeah.
And cheaper than all the other three, than the Toyota, the Honda, and the Chrysler.
nice, yeah.
It's really nice. Yeah, we just did a 4-way comparo in Motor Trend. And the runaway winner, Carnival.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Kia killed it.
Okay,
Totally
cool,
killed it.
perfect.
Yeah.
I like that new the Genesis GV80.
GV80's good. Yeah. I think you want a van, though. I think
A
you want the
van?
mini
Okay.
because it's just lower to the ground.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
And then who does the custom work in it?
So me and my buddy actually did all the work.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, impressive.
How?
Yep.
With tools, Spike.
No, but that's an
craftsmanship.
Yeah, but how do you approach something like that? I mean, I remember you on Car Matchmaker, and I
Yeah.
never thought, oh, this guy's going to build a car. you were having me help you find a car.
Absolutely.
That's where you were at. That's
Yeah.
where I'm coming from.
Well, I mean, look, I love cars.
Right.
I mean, I have a slight car background. I did more of the vision work. My buddy did more of the the hands-on,
I get it.
the
I get it.
hands-off stuff. But it was a lot of trial and error, and just a lot of just drunken nights of just, hey, let's just want to try this out, see if this works.
And
So-
what kind of heating element does it have in the center there? What is that?
So it's powered by both charcoal and butane.
Ah.
So
You get the right taste.
yes, I mean, if you guys taste it, you could taste
Yeah,
the
yeah.
charcoal.
It
It
was
tastes
great.
great.
Yeah, it was.
Because with any type of meat,
it was like the simple Jeep kind of.
Yeah,
kind
absolutely.
of the taste.
Absolutely.
I was like, that's rare to get.
Yeah,
most places are just gas fired.
there's one way. There's one way to cook meat on a pan versus on an open flame with charcoal. I mean, it's the flavor's like night and day. So
Right.
you guys should know that. So
I know.
What kind
ate
of
like
restaurants
50 of them.
get you the angriest when you see them? Like when I see certain people in certain cars, I'm like, oh, that person has no taste. What is it about meat cookers? Like, who are the meat cookers you look down on? You go, oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
nobody
that-
listen to this show,
Oh,
so you
oh.
can insult insult anybody.
No, I don't mean people you
Is
don't
it
like.
Sang?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. When you drive by, what kind of restaurant do you go, oh, like, is it Olive Garden? You go, oh.
no, I love Olive Garden. They just built a brand new one on Venice that looks like the Bellagio.
What do you
Olive
love
Garden.
about Olive Garden?
I love Olive Garden.
Wow.
Why?
I mean, obviously, because of the free breadsticks and the salad.
Right. Okay.
But I mean, we grew up, not very wealthy, but
Right,
kind of
right.
like my parents are immigrants, so we grew up kind of poor, and like
Right.
going to the places like Olive Garden was like going to Mastro's back in the
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
Right.
right.
So-
That's true.
I mean,
that's
my
absolutely
my
true.
parents, actually, my parents' friends love Sizzler. That was the big one.
Oh yes,
Sizzler.
yes,
Wow.
absolutely.
We had
Sizzler,
a
yeah.
place called Producers, and then we had a weird one, Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips,
Chips.
which
They're
is now
bringing it back. They're bringing it back, Ferris.
That's why I brought it up. Isn't that insane?
You remember all the tales about breaded rats?
Well,
Deep fried.
I'm
Is
on
this
the
rats
East.
and
Long
chips?
John Silver.
I'm in
Yeah.
the East Coast,
It's,
right?
But for us
So,
West Coasters,
Yeah.
it's
So
like
I'm-
a Long John's.
hold
Yeah.
on. New Bedford, fishing village, whaling. We have plenty of fish. And then a fast food fish place opens up with the name of an old actor from black and white movies that only my dad knows. I still don't know who Arthur Treacher is, right? And we're going to eat at Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips. I'm like, this isn't even really that good.
And the decor was terrible, too.
Yeah, it looked like a Burger Chef and Jeff.
Yeah,
that was a burger place right near it. Not Burger King. We had Burger Chef and Jeff in Brockton, all right? The future home of crack cocaine. That's what's going on in Brockton, Massachusetts. I love Brockton. I'm sorry I had to say that out loud. Now, cut to right last week, Zuckerman. Out of nowhere, here in L.A., Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips reboots. With a cool guy like Chris, I don't know, it's one of your proteges.
Oh, really?
Who has decided to add this to their
portfolio of bad
and
ideas.
It's gourmet fish and chips, calling it, and they rebooted the brand, Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips.
Wow. I love fish and chips, so.
Well, that's a good question. Then who has, we've been wondering, L.A.
Where's the best fish?
Where's the best fish?
Connie and Ted's.
Oh, okay, yes, you're right.
No one asked.
Look how fat I am. I know about food.
I want to know what Chris knows.
I don't know the name.
Okay.
But it's in Koreatown, and it looks incredible. It looks like a crispy pillow of like flaky white fish goodness.
Wow.
Really?
Like like when you have a bad fish and chip, the top is nice and crispy, but then when you pick it up, the whole underside is just like
soggy.
It's soggy and it comes out like you lift it up. It's like a light boulder, if that's an analogy. You can knock on it. You could.
Well, find a name.
Okay, what street is it on?
I don't know, somewhere in K-Town, like 6th Street or something like that.
Okay.
Just
all right.
Use yell.
He sounds like me saying that. Somewhere in K-Town. How did you get into food? I got to ask. How did this start for you?
Food. Funny stories. So, my mom was always a good cook. So I used to learn from her. But then I grew up in the days of like Food Network, and YouTube, and like I kind of learned from them. And then I tried to go to culinary school, but my parents weren't having any of that. They made me go to college, get a 9-to-5 and all that stuff. And then fast forward when I was 30, I had like a bunch of businesses, a real estate company, and I just wasn't having it. So I took a leap of faith, moved to LA, lied on my first resume to get my first kitchen job. I was cutting onions. I felt like I was in prison. I was cutting potatoes and cutting onions.
What was the lie on the resume? What did you say?
I was working at these really nice restaurants in San Francisco.
Good thing nobody calls off the
yeah, absolutely not. So, fast forward, 12 years now. I have, I've owned and operated dozens of restaurants. I've been on TV numerous times. I have all these accolades and
all from a lie.
All from a lie.
That's the
We've been living a lie, Chris. Living a lie,
but living it well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so you were serial entrepreneur.
Yeah, absolutely.
How is it so easy for you? Everybody dreams of opening a business, opening a restaurant. And you make it sound like, by the time I was 30, I had all this shit going on, and I just took a leap of faith and went and tried some other stuff, and then I had 12 of them. How could you do this?
Honestly, I really believe it was my upbringing. I lived in a very strict, Asian American family. They wanted me to be a doctor, lawyer, astronaut, whatever,
we're Jews.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
we understand that.
You guys get that.
That's not just Asian families.
They hammered me like study. They sent me to boarding school after boarding school. So like I feel like by the time I got to college, I was already like a hardened like hustler criminal. So like once I graduated college and went to the real world, everything seemed kind of like a cakewalk, to be honest with you.
Okay,
because
you
mom
must
and dad
have been
weren't
mad
there.
at your parents.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sending you to boarding school.
Oh, but I'll tell you right now, boarding school is just like prison. It's like it's like
it's a lot of prison.
Yeah.
When you go to jail, you come out as like even a harder criminal.
Wow.
Like same with boarding school. I went to Choate in Connecticut. I went to the Hill in Philadelphia. I came out of there just like
ready to go.
How did your parents, immigrants, you say immigrants of limited and modest means, get it in their head to send you to Choate? How does that happen?
I don't know. There's like a little I think back in the day they had like a little Korean American little
Fun.
Tupperware club.
Grapevine.
It's like it's like your kid's messed up. Oh, you send them to Connecticut.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
The coach is smoking weed.
Now
like
he's
that, huh? Was that it?
The Field of Dreams. That's what it was called at Choate. That's where I first learned how to
got
smoke.
restaurants. The lovely Submariner on the wrist. You're a watch guy
thank you.
too, huh? Do you have a collection
Yes.
of watches as well?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah, I have a couple Rolexes.
What do you like? They're Rolexes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
He's in the
I have a
club.
Datejust, 41 millimeter. I mean,
Nice.
I want to buy more, but I can't find any. It's impossible.
Yeah, there's
to
a
find.
Everything.
Rolex shortage, along
Yeah.
with a chip shortage right now.
Yes. Lots of sympathy out there for the Rolex shortage. Anyway, Chris O, where do we find, if you live in L.A. or if you're coming to Los Angeles, I would guess the general Los Angeles area, and
Yes.
someone wants this Korean barbecue experience
Yep.
in somebody else's driveway
Yep.
and or anywhere else, come to Zuckerman's driveway, by the way.
Yeah, anytime.
Feel free.
Do it, eat in his driveway. How do they find you?
You can just go to the website. It's www.kbbqcar.com. Or you can find us on Instagram, KBBCar, or Chef Chris So. You got the internet. You can find anything you want. So
Awesome. There you are. Well, thank you for coming on and cooking for everybody.
course.
We loved it. It was delicious. I also want to thank our sponsors, Mack Weldon, Harry's. They've got the best shavers. And collectingcars.com. Go there right now. Buy some cars. And don't forget to check out Hodinky's Volume 8, available now at hodinky.com, that cool magazine. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Zuckerman. Thank
You're
you, Chris.
welcome.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
families,
Chris.
for coming by and flying your drones and getting into airspace, Jack. We'll talk about that after the show. We'll see you next week on Spike's Car Radio.
Thanks for listening to Spike's Car Radio, brought to you by Hangar 56. Listen to new episodes every Wednesday, and be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Hey guys, time to get in on the action for the biggest moments in basketball with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections, place your entry, and win up to 100 times your money. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app and use the code GET100. That's code GET100 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
The first taste of rare bourbon you finally got your hands on. That's nice. At Caskers.com, we make this experience easy. Caskers is a one-stop spirit curator with an impressive selection of exclusive, sought-after, rare, and household names in the realm of premium spirits and champagne. Discover the top flavors of the year now by going to Caskers.com and using code WELCOME10 for $10 off your first purchase. Get $10 off your first purchase with code WELCOME10 at Caskers.com.